Let's say something about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Tanks for everything, Arizona. And we'll talk more about my theories about the Cardinals after we get to the news. Kyler Murray will be on the reserve physically unable to perform list, which means he will miss at least the first 4 weeks of the season as he continues to recover from the torn ACL he suffered last year. That is not a surprise. We did not expect him to be ready week 1. Of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, this is a guy who needs to be able to fully harness his speed, his agility, his change of direction, pressure on the ACL, tension, planting, cutting, darting. He needs to be 100%. He needs to be ready to go. The big surprise yesterday, though, was that I don't know how big of a surprise it is. I don't know. We just thought Colt McCoy was their guy. They love Colt McCoy. And now Colt McCoy's just gone. But after, the vibe post Murray being injured was, well, we'll just ride with Colt McCoy until Kyler Murray comes back. And Colt McCoy does this and Colt McCoy does that. Colt McCoy packs his stuff and leaves. And now it's Josh Dobbs.
Oh.
So they just grabbed. No, seriously. Josh Dobbs. They couldn't sign Josh Dobbs. Oh, there it is.
With a heart.
Thank you.
Oh, bleep off.
Thank you.
You know, thank you with a little heart from the team account. I mean, the team social media has nothing to do with, the front office and the decisions that they make. They don't.
No.
What do you mean? Don't. No. What do you mean? What do you mean?
They work for them. Don't do that.
Do.
Don't let the teams off the hook for this. Oh, the social media it's not some independent entity. You worked for the Rams and the Panthers.
I know,
it's
that's
all
why
under
I'm
the same
making
umbrella.
this point. It's all
right,
under the same
but
umbrella.
So management,
but it's not,
management can say, stop this. It's still from the Cardinals. It's not from the Cardinals social media team. It's going out there to the world as the Arizona Cardinals and every other team that does this. When they fire a guy with this public billboard of thank you with emojis and acting like everything's great, you just told the guy to pack his shit and leave. You can't thank him and act like everything's great. He's not happy about it. What are you doing? So my point is the social media people may be inclined to do it, but the grown-ups in the room have to say, this really isn't the message we want to send to the world. We all know what we just did. Let's not try to make it look like something that it isn't.
I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, the social media folks are not the ones who are making the decision. The social media folks are the ones who have like a lot of empathy when they have built relationships with players and different guys. And then, they get fired. And then it's like, crap, like, I like this guy. I worked with this guy. I have a relationship with this guy. So they are really thankful for what Colt McCoy was, who Colt McCoy is. And so, they're going to say thank you. And my brain understands that aspect of it. But I think that, like you just kind of said, there's a point where, we're going a little bit too far here. They fired the guy. The front office did it. The general manager, the head coach, they came together. They made a decision, right? And so when you're saying thank you with a little heart, the social media team may say that. But at the end of the day, it's at AZ Cardinals or whatever the hell it is on whatever the website is called now. So, I mean, at the end of the day, to me, the little heart is really what puts it over top, where it's just stop it, he was cut. Okay. At the end of the day, he got fired and the organization fired him and you guys still work there. He doesn't. We don't need to do little hearts and stuff. Come on. And he started 6 games. It's not like he's a franchise legend that they let go of. Okay, it's Colt McCoy at the end of the day, and I have love for Colt McCoy. I do. I grew up in Cleveland. I was
draft
watching
pick of the Browns, 2010, third round pick.
I know.
2011,
and
2010, close enough. They know who we mean.
No, it was 2010 when he got drafted. I'm going to say in 2011 when James Harrison nearly decapitated him on Thursday Night Football. I was watching, and it was really tough to watch when he then got sent back out there. So I will always have love for Colt McCoy, but he's still Colt McCoy. Hey, this is not, the whole thank you stuff. That's what I tweeted yesterday when the Browns cut Cade York. Oh man, is he going to get a thank you graphic? Although maybe he deserves one for the kick that beat Baker Mayfield's Carolina Panthers last year. I don't know, but jeez. Enough with the thank yous.
The Colt McCoy concussion and the fact that the NFL and the Browns and whatever trainers and doctors were there let him continue to play was shameful. And it was a step forward in the evolution of the NFL having better systems in place to prevent a player who was clearly concussed from continuing to play in the same game, because that second concussion is the one that can literally kill you. And Colt McCoy's father spoke out in very aggressive terms the next day, which was great for him. Now, I'm sure the Browns didn't like it at the time, but it was great that he did it, because the whole thing kind of pushed forward this realization and this sensitivity that should have been there in the first place, that there is a point where you have to pull the guy out of the game and take his helmet away and say, you're not playing anymore tonight.
And I won't be calling Mike Holmgren for playoff tickets at any point soon either, since that's one of the things that he said in the aftermath of that.
Yeah. Let me just say this. When NBC inevitably fires me, anyone listening, currently in the back room, currently elsewhere in social media, I want the thank you. I really want the thank you. When they fire me, I want the thank you. And I want at least one heart emoji. Not a broken heart emoji. I want a heart emoji, a real heart emoji when I'm fired, please. All right, so now the two quarterbacks on the active roster for the Arizona Cardinals are checks notes, Josh Dobbs and Clayton Tune. At a time when we have 3 rookies starting week 1, we could have 4. We don't know, because Jonathan Gannon, the first-year coach of the Cardinals, won't tell us. Here he is when asked yesterday which of his 2 remaining quarterbacks will enter the field of play when the Cardinals face the Commanders on September 10.
Yeah, I think we got a plan in place, but I want to see them both play football still. This week we got some work, and then the following week we got some work, but I feel good where we're at. Well, I'm not going to name a starter because I think it's a competitive advantage for us going to Washington, but we'll know who the starter is.
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. He'll never keep it secret. First-year coach, Eric Mangini learned that the hard way. You're never going to keep that secret. Although he may benefit from the fact that nobody really cares. That may help him.
Damn.
Like, nobody really cares who the Cardinals' week 1 starter is going to be. But inevitably, they're going to show up for practice next Wednesday. Somebody's getting the first team reps, and somebody's going to say something to somebody, and somebody's going to tweet that the starter is either Clayton Tune or Josh Dobbs, even if Jonathan Gannon insists on not saying it. So, and hey, rookie mistake. And again, nobody really cares. We're not choosing between Steve Young and Joe Montana here. Come on. And watch, the guy's going to go out and put up 35 points against Washington and win the game. But let's be realistic about where the Cardinals currently are. Strategic advantage, it doesn't matter unless the strategy is to lose. That's the only remaining question for the Cardinals. How committed are they to this path of ineptitude that will cause them to secure the first overall pick in the draft? Because it feels like, it looks like, it smells like, it sounds like they are tanking, Myles.
Well, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's not a damn mongoose, right? I mean, I tend to agree with you that it kind of doesn't matter who it is between Josh Dobbs and what's this other man's name? Oh, Clayton Tune.
Clayton Tune. Clayton, name that tune. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I apologize. I'm not really, up on my Cardinals 5th round picks maybe as I should be. But look, Petzing is, of course, their offensive
No, because you're reading the Washington Post or the New York Times in the morning.
Yeah, and I have it written down, and I just, it slipped my mind because, look, I think you're kind of right that it doesn't necessarily matter. They do have, I guess, some element of surprise where it's you don't know what the offense is going to look like. You don't know who the quarterback is going to be. You don't know what the quarterback is going to look like operating in that offense necessarily, because Josh Dobbs' snaps last year came with the Tennessee Titans. It's not like that offense is exactly the same as what the Arizona Cardinals are going to be putting out there. So there is, to Gannon's point, an element of surprise and competitive advantage, if you really want to call it an advantage, that they do kind of have. But, there's only so long that lasts, because you're going to attack a defense in a certain way, right? And once Jack Del Rio figures out in week 1 how the Cardinals are going to attack that Commanders defense, then you adjust and you figure it out. And then you say, okay, well, now that we know what they're trying to do, we can stop it. So that competitive advantage, like I said, if you want to call it that, only will take you so far. There is another quarterback, at least on that roster. It's David Blau or Jeff Driscoll. Maybe both of them are there. And I looked this up and I did not write it down. So they're choosing between Name That Tune and Joshua Dobbs, presumably for the starting role. But there are other guys that are on the roster. Like I said, I don't quite know who they are, but yeah, the Cardinals are not at the forefront of my mind as we really get ready for this 2023 season, in large part because Kyler Murray is still on the physically unable to perform list, and that's their starting quarterback. So, I mean, doesn't it, in theory, might behoove them to tank? I know we're not supposed to talk about that, but like, if your starting quarterback's not there and you don't know when he's going to get on the field, isn't it better to be like, well, we're going to have to punt this year in some ways. So let's just let the kids play and figure out what it is that we have. And we'll see where we are at the end of the year. And, if we get a high pick and we get the Texans high pick, if they have a high pick, we're not going to be in a terrible position for 2024.
They actually do have 4 quarterbacks currently on the active roster. I misspoke earlier. Myles may not know the name of the guy who could be the starter, but he does have the other 2 guys nailed. It's both Jeff Driscoll and David Mr. Plow Blau as the remaining guys for now.
Yes.
Or Senor Plow, depending upon which version of the commercial, either the English or Spanish version of the Mr. Plow commercial. Regardless, actually, it was the Plow King commercial that attacked Mr. Plow. That's what it was.
I have
Barney
no idea what you're talking
developed
about.
Plow King. You don't know of that Simpsons episode, Mr. Plow? Homer starts Mr. Plow.
Sorry.
Call Mr. Plow. That's the name. That name again is Mr. Plow. You're seriously not aware of Mr. Plow versus the Plow King? Man, you have not lived. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.